main purpose of creating this vlog is to share with you guys a very special book which I read recently. And this book, let me tell you, मैं ये बुक बहुत समय से पढ़ना चाहती थी, काफ़ी टाइम था. आई लव टू रीड बुक्स, लाइक बुक्स आर माई बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स. एंड व्हेन आई से दैट, it's not a joke, it's not a fib which I'm saying, it's really true. जब मेरे पास कोई बुक होती है तो मुझे लगता है कि मैं सेफ़ हूँ, मैं सिक्योर हूँ. और ये अभी से आदत नहीं है, ये बचपन की आदत है कि हमेशा अपने पास मैं बुक लेके घूमती हूँ. You never know when you get a chance to read your book. And even when I go to market, even when I'm going to my friend's place, my family's place, I just have one book with me. And मैं उसको रखती हूँ, मैं नहीं पढ़ती, हो सकता है मैं नहीं पढ़ूँ, बट जब वो मेरे पास रहती है ना तो it gives me a feeling of security, nothing else, right? And you can see I love books. Like this cupboard is my library, small library, and these all are my unread books. So I'm hoping that one day I'll go to them, I'll get through them. So one by one I pick out from them and I read it. I may like it, I may not like it, and I thought like why not share it with you guys. अगर मुझे कोई बुक पसंद आती है and आप लोगों को उसके बारे में कोई रिव्यू सोच रहे थे आप कि मैं पढ़ना चाहती हूँ या मैं सोच रही हूँ इस बुक को पढ़ना, तो let me share it with you guys कि how I found it. And I'm no way a book expert, मैं नहीं हूँ book, I just love to read. I have no favorite genre, I have no favorite author, I have no favorite language जिसको मुझे बुक्स पढ़ना पसंद हो. बस मुझे बुक्स पढ़ना पसंद है, that's it, nothing else, right? So let's get to it. ये जो पर्टिकुलर बुक है ये मैं बहुत समय से पढ़ना चाहती थी, राइट? आई कांट रियली रिकॉल कि मुझे कभी बुक नहीं पढ़नी थी, बट वेन एवर आई यूज़ टू सी दिस बुक इन बुक स्टैंड, आई यूज़ टू मेक अ मेंटल नोट कि यार मुझे ये बुक लेनी है. बट समहाउ और द अदर आई यूज़ टू पास थ्रू इट, बट it is supposed to happen when it is supposed to happen, right? So I found this book in exactly the time when I needed this book. And the book I'm talking about is Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right, but Tuesdays with Morrie, right? It's a beautiful book. मैं जितना इस बुक की तारीफ़ करूँ उतना ये बुक की तारीफ़ कम है. इसमें जो है the author, he has written this book for his graduation teacher, Morrie, right? So it's a story about Mitch and Morrie, no one else. Like you may find some side characters, but primarily it focuses on the relationship of Mitch and Morrie. And the author, this is a true story by the way, as the author has written in it. Like in the end you can find, like in latest editions you can find a forward note by the author in which he mentions that he wrote this book so that Morrie can pay his medical bills, and the advances which he got through manuscript of this bill was used to pay medical bills of his teacher. And the book is that जो Mitch है, he had Morrie as his graduation teacher. And Morrie जो है, he was very influential in his life when he was in college, but after he left college he lost touch with Morrie, and then life happened. He became a very famous sports article writer, and he wrote books, he covered major sports events, like he became quite famous, right? And then suddenly he finds his teacher on TV, and he sees that his teacher is going through a disease which is known as ALS, wherein slowly you lose the mobility in your body parts. So it starts with your legs, तो आपके legs काम करना बंद करते हैं, then it moves ahead, and the final part is when you lose the muscle mobility of your lungs. So then you just die by choking, which even when you listen to it, like Stephen Hawking had it, right? Then Stephen Hawking used to have a breathing tube in his neck and used to write by blinking, and he's genius, so he coped up with that. But it's a very deadly disease, it's a very sad disease, it's a very, आप हमेशा you would wonder why me, right? Because you cannot even control your basic things. You want to lift your hand, you cannot lift it. You feel pain in your muscles, but you cannot do anything about it, right? So it's a very degenerative disease. Like slowly within 5 to 6 months you lose your whole body functions and you slowly die by suffocating, right? So the Morrie here, he also gets this disease, and a very famous news channel anchor is covering him because because Morrie, he decides that, okay, I'm going to die, but before dying, I want to live. And his method of living is to spread kindness and joy to people around him. He wants to meet people. He wants to tell them how to live life, because he thinks that, if you're not living life, if you're not helping others, if you're not being part of someone's happiness, then you're not actually living life. And he wants other to know it. He wants to spend his last days not in self-pity, but with his loved ones, with people like his kids, with his wife, with his scholars, with his students, with whom in his life they have become an influential part, right? And he does that. He actually does that. So jab Mitch gets to know about it, he reaches Morrie, and then they meet on a random Tuesday, and suddenly Tuesdays become their thing. They always meet on Tuesdays, and they always have discussions on some topics which Mitch wants to know about. So they have like a lot of topics on which they have discussion. They talk about the world, they talk about feeling sorry for yourself, they talk about regrets, they talk about death, they talk about marriage, they talk about family, they talk of money, they talk of culture. Like, you'll find lot of chapters in it wherein they talk, and some things now they stick with you. Like, when you read it, I'll kid you not, I read it during my metro ride mostly, and I started it yesterday, by the way. This book, like 200 odd pages book, I started yesterday, and I just couldn't keep it down. I started yesterday in the morning, and today I finished it, and I wanted to get it out in the world that this is the book you should read. If one book which you should read, this must be one amongst them, right? And like, I have randomly bookmarked. Like, I have a very bad habit. Usually I don't do that. I love books, I adore books, I keep them safe, but when I love something new, I earmark them. You can see I earmarked them like this, right? So I have earmarked few things which I like about it. Okay, this is then when they talk about death, right? So he meets Morrie on a Tuesday, fourth Tuesday, and they talk about death. And he's not well, he's not done, like he's not doing good that day, and they talk about that. And one line which Morrie said, and I have earmarked this page, one thing which Morrie said is, the truth is, Mitch, he said, once you learn how to die, you learn how to live. And he said it again to implicate it, like make it strong. And he then, Mitch asked that, did you think about death before you got sick? And he said, no, I was like everyone else. And I was once told that I'm the healthiest man alive. But like, everyone knows someone who has died, then why is it so hard to think about dying? And Morrie says that because most of us all walk around as if we are sleepwalking. We really don't experience the world fully, because we are half asleep, doing things we automatically think we have to do that. And death changes that. It strips away all that stuff. All you focus on the essentials, and you focus only on essentials. When you realize you're going to die, you see everything much differently. And I know it's a very heavy thing to say, like on our first vlog, but like this book is like this. It left me with tears, it left me with joy, it left me with a smile. This book is like that. And like this 12th Thursday, Tuesday, when they talk about forgiveness, he says that there is no point in keeping vengeance or stubbornness. These things, you regret in life later on. Pride, vanity. Why do we do the things we do, right? So this is how beautiful the book is. If you pick it at any point of your life, you will find something you can relate to. Something, I swear, you will write someone, you will mark, you will earmark, you will highlight, you will underline, you will find something which relates to you. And the thing is, now, I don't want you guys to read all of this in one go. Like, take a chapter, just 2 pages, 3 pages, read it in a day, that's it. These are 192 books. Like, you will probably finish in 100 odd days, right? If you read 2 chapters in a day, 2 pages in a day. And 100 odd days is what? But the feeling this book will leave you with is like worth following, right? So, yeah. that's it from my side. I love to read books, as I said, so in future I'll keep on reviewing books which I find interesting. Which I don't find interesting, I'll tell you guys about that also. And something which I love, I'll share it with you guys. Like, I have some books in my list which I keep on going back to, because that's how beautiful those books are written, and everybody should read it. I feel like there are few books which everybody should read, because they leave you with some feeling, like, you know, that good feeling, that positive feeling in your heart, right? So yeah, that's it from my side. I love you guys. Bye.